Peace, love, and blessings, fam. Johnny Sally here with day 25 of 60 of Wisdom of the Ages. If you've missed the previous episodes, you can go and watch them on YouTube at Loyalty Life, spelled Lyfe Legacy LLC. Day 25, Nature. Nightingale, thou surely art. I heard a stock dove singer say his homely tale this very day. His voice was buried among trees, yet to become at by the breeze. He did not cease, but cooed and cooed, and somewhat pensively he wooed. He sang of love with quiet blending, slow to begin and never ending, of serious faith and inward glee. That was the song for me, by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth was an English poet who poetically expressed his love of nature and a respect for humanity without regard to class distinctions. In my preparations for writing this collection of essays on applying the wisdom of the ages, I have read thousands of contributions from great thinkers and poets from the present to thousands of years before Christ. One theme that persists, particularly in the poetry of the ages, is a fascination with nature. These soulful writers seem to immerse themselves in nature and create poems that stem from their state of bewilderment and ecstasy. Of the thousands of these poems I have studied, I have selected this one to represent the topic of nature. It is from one of the world's most gifted and prolific poets, William Wordsworth, who wrote while Europe was exploding in revolution in the late 18th century. Nightingale, thou surely art, exemplifies Wordsworth's ability to dramatize how imagination creates spiritual values out of the memory of sights and sounds in nature. His lesson to all of us is that the wilderness is therapy. Imagine the poet simply listening to the sound of birds and listening with such intensity that he could write down words of this very basic yet universal human experience. Who has failed to hear a bird singing? And convey, he sang of love, with quiet blending, slow to begin, and never ending, of serious faith and inward glee. That was the song for me. Allow Wordsworth's poetic observation to inspire you to go out into the wilderness, even if only in your own backyard, or a public park if that is all you can manage, and listen, pretending to be one of the many poets who preceded you here. Memorize the sounds and sights of nature. By immersing yourself in the present moment and shutting out all the distractions that fill your busy mind, you can allow one stock dove to sing or say his homely tale this very day. And it will be just for you. Indeed, the wilderness and all its nature sounds, sights, and more is more than therapy. It is a connection, a link to your soul, and the external creative energy of the divine creator of all. This is the energy that nature uses each spring to write a new chapter in the book of Genesis. Emerson observed on the western side of the Atlantic what Wordsworth noted on the eastern side at essentially the same time. Everything in nature contains all the powers of nature. Everything is made of one hidden stuff. This includes all that is natural, including you. Yes, you too are a part of this world of nature. Your desire to be in solitude, to be free, to be your natural self, to follow your own intuition, to sing without being criticized, to flow as rivers do, are natural instincts that cannot be ignored, and that are often ignored. Ask yourself, what are the most pleasant memories of your lifetime? They very likely are your personal ecstatic encounters with nature. The sound of the water or the wind lapping or roaring against the shore, the feel of bitter cold on your face, or the sun penetrating your body at the beach, the sights and sounds of autumn leaves as you walk into the woods, a camping trip when you slept outside and listened to the mysterious sounds of the darkness. How did you lose your eyes and ears? How did you forget the ecstasy of nature? Go back to the place where Wordsworth describes trees and breeze, cooed and wooed. These are more than a poet's rhyme scheming. These are tickets to a lost beatitude. Several decades ago, I was a professor at St. John's University in New York City. The afternoon hours just before my classes commenced were the most hectic time of the day. My outer office would be teeming with graduate students needing something from me, their advisor. My secretary would be buzzing my phone with unceasing interruptions. A dean could be demanding my attention for some administrative matter, and I would be filled with anxiety over all of this push-pull pressure, knowing that I had a class to teach in a couple of hours. Amid all this chaos, I would frequently excuse myself and announce to my secretary that I'd return in a moment because I had an emergency. I would then retreat to a public park a block from my office. There, I would find my favorite bench, surrounded by trees and the sights and sounds of nature, and I would just sit and listen for 15 minutes. This tranquil setting was my therapy, my escape to sanity. No one in my department ever knew where I went or why during my frequent emergency escapes, but when I returned, most of the problems had been resolved, and those who needed my attention were handled by a de-stressed professor. I look back now and realize I was applying the wisdom of Wordsworth's poetry to my situation. Let nature speak to me in her symbols and signs. It is not an accident that so many of our most revered poets and writers have found nature to be the source of their artistry. It is in nature that one loses all judgments and false pretenses because nature does not judge. As the famed naturalist John Muir once said, the grand show is eternal. It is always sunrise somewhere. The dew is never all dried at once. A shower is forever falling. Vapor is ever rising. When you treat yourself to nature, you become one with the eternal show. Your soul has the opportunity to harmonize with you and your world. Wordsworth's lyrical little poem is more than an observation of a bird in nature. It is a plea to all of us to let go of our observations with the pettiness that drives us crazy, and to seek out and live in the harmony that is in the sights and sounds of nature. Indeed, they all sing for you. To explore what William Wordsworth offers you, try the following. First, give yourself a designated time each day, or each week if you can, to walk barefoot on the grass or to immerse yourself in nature and just listen. No assignments, no duties, just listen and observe the perfection of the natural sound, the natural world. Remember, the wilderness is therapy. 2, write your reactions to nature in the form of your own poetry or essay. Forget about rhyming schemes and rules of grammar. A friend of mine describes his experiences going from pissed to blissed, like that, pissed to blissed, by giving himself some time in a natural setting. Allowing yourself to be a poet and record your divine intuition as you commune with nature, just as Wordsworth did a few centuries back. 3, plan extended time in nature on your next vacation. Consider trekking to the mountains, whitewater rafting, skiing, or camping. These are delightful. These are delights that will bring you the bliss you seek and the memories of a lifetime. Sleep outdoors one night, even if it is only in a tent in your backyard. Do it with your family, particularly your children, and notice the excitement they all feel by being in nature. This feeling of excitement is precisely what you can recapture in all areas of your life when you allow your own nature to play a more dominant and enthusiastic role in your life. Nature is a very beautiful thing, and so often we forget that we are a part of nature. We literally embody every element. Water can be symbolized not only as the blood that flows through our body, but the molecular structure of our cells are water-based. Fire are the electrical impulses in your brain that direct every action of your body. That little part of you that is so much grander than you realize, that is somewhere completely different operating this machine, controls all of those things and directs those electrical impulses as fire through your body. Air is that which you breathe, the prana, the ki, the chi that goes into your lungs and back out into the atmosphere. And of course, earth, those that believe we were made of clay, well, we're definitely made of carbon, and that's a part of earth and her many different facets. So it's no wonder why when you're stressed, if you go outside and you put your feet barefoot in the ground, sit with your feet at 12 o'clock, your body will begin to balance out and recharge. Your ions will begin to shift from negative to positive in a more balanced fashion. When you allow the sun's rays to soak your body, you're literally absorbing nutrients like a plant. Some people are breatharians and only choose to eat when they want to, or to not make other people uncomfortable. But they literally receive their nutrients directly from the sun. There is so much that we have become completely disconnected from. Medicines, the truest form of them, come directly from the earth. Is it not funny that pharmaceutical companies, pharmaceutical, you like that, don't you? Pharmaceutical, sounds like some type of company that invests in ways to create what nature has done perfectly in a less perfect manner, but to sell for more. And I want you to think of the logic of that, because we as a people know that what they're making is a copy with less benefits than the natural. But we would rather run to this facade of what is the truest benefit to us. So, the lack of connection to nature is why so many of us are mentally unprepared on a daily basis to even deal with the world. And outside of the 4 things that he gave, I'm going to suggest when you do go out and sit in nature, do it barefoot. Allow your feet to rest and connect to Mother Earth, Mother Terra or Dut. And allow her to also allow energy to flow in you. And it's a mutual exchange, because if you're a high frequency individual, when you go out and plant your feet onto the ground, you're actually healing certain areas of Mother Earth too. So, nature should be your friend. You should be nature's friend. And you should allow yourself to open the door to healing from Mother Terra or Dut. And to know that not only are you beautiful, not only are you amazing, but you are an essence of all of creation. even nature itself. I thank you for being here, not only for me, but for yourself first and foremost. I ask that you walk in love, walk in light, walk in peace, and know that you are loved.